That's our very own Seaside band this morning with our special guest, Ray Davis, joining them. He'll be joining us shortly again with some music. My name is Rebecca Jade. It's an honor to be here with you on our Celebration Sunday. And I'm going to try to get us anchored in this morning with a song. We've done it here at Seaside before, but I felt like it was just extra appropriate this morning. Gratitude and positive thought. All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good. Holy, holy, all love, holy, holy, all love, holy, holy, all in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is love, holy, holy. All peace, holy, holy. All peace, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is peace, holy, holy.
Rebecca, that was beautiful. Oh my goodness, that had a beautiful tone. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, good morning, Seaside. Woo! What a joy it is to be here with you today, this wonderful day of Thanksgiving and celebration. And we're celebrating today.
That's right.
Yes. What's going on?
Oh man, well, we're grateful to be here on this very special day. And then after service today, we're going to do a live stream concert that people can tune in and join us at no cost and just hopefully feel the gratitude that we want to share with them.
Wow. And you bring down some of your friends.
Yeah, Ray Davis is our special guest today. And I asked him if he would be willing to stick around and add a couple songs with us, and he obliged us.
Oh, nice.
Very grateful. Danielle Tucker's going to join us as well.
Oh, really? Oh, good.
As well as our very own Seaside band. So it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be an amazing day. Well, thanks for setting that up. It's just a sense of gratitude for everyone and their support of Seaside.
That's right.
That's good. And you were going to take off right after the service, going to Texas. Family,
yep,
it's your annual gig.
That's right. We always go out to Texas for Thanksgiving, and we had our plans and flights, and everything was booked. And Friday night, there was word on Thursday about just really reconsidering any travel plans. And so hubby Rico and we decided to just, it was hard to make the decision, but we figured it was the best decision was to stay in town and just.
So it's been a few years since you made turkey. You remember how?
No.
Nope.
But you know what? You know who does know? Google knows.
Oh, Google now, man. Mr. Google. Well, hey, that'll be good. Actually, let Rico take care of it. It's too big for me to put in the oven. So, well, I'm really grateful you're here. The concert's going to be exciting, and you're just a gift to us. So we appreciate you. We love you, and just thank you.
Thank you. The feeling is mutual.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah. It'll be fun. Hey, and also speaking of gratitude, a partner of mine here at Seaside, who came home, as you know, last fall, is Reverend Debbie. And truly I am filled with gratitude because we were definitely very not settled. There was not a solid foundation in terms of the operations around here for a few years. And Reverend Debbie brought back her prosperity consciousness, her spiritual consciousness, her presence. And it's just truly been a joy over this last year to co-create with you. And Seaside has not been this solid for a long time, in a very dynamic time. And so my heart goes out with gratitude and appreciation to you and all that you bring our family. Welcome home. And I am thankful in this Thanksgiving season for you and your presence at Seaside.
I'm very grateful for my Seaside family. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, well, we're going to start the service by just anchoring ourselves in prayer. Rebecca started us off so beautifully, and I'm going to go ahead and light the candle, which represents the light. The light is always shining, even behind the clouds or the fog this morning that we had. The light is always there. And then I'll gong our gong, and we'll have some moments of silence and a prayer. Simply knowing and feeling and sensing the one power, the one presence, the one love, the one light, knowing that it is all spirit, it is all God, that there is nothing but God expressing right here and right now. And I know that I am one with this divine energy, and just as this is true for me, it's true for each one within the sound of my voice, each one on the planet is a magnificent, individualized expression of the divine. And I know that Seaside today, this service unfolds perfectly in divine order, that Spirit is in the musicians and is Rebecca and our singers, and that each one of them are the voice of God, the hands of God. And I know our wonderful Dr. Christian Sorensen is a vehicle, a vessel through which Spirit expresses in the most magnificent way. I'm knowing that Spirit's message moves through him today, that there's an absolute download, there's an inspiration, there's an intuitive knowing which each one of us need to hear. So grateful for this time together, so grateful for our Seaside family, for being able to come together in whatever form we're able to come together, whether it be via the airwaves or in person. So grateful to be connected. I just let it be.
God is real. God is magnificent. God is light. God is love. You are real. You are magnificent.
Thank you, Rebecca Jade. Oh, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thanksgiving week. We're here, starting it, kicking it off. I know people are having holidays, and a lot of holiday plans have changed, like Rebecca shared, Some getting together, some not. So whatever you're doing, enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. And today is our Celebration Sunday here at Seaside, and that's the end of our pledge program. We always wrap it up with a celebration of some kind, and like everything else in the world today, it's a little bit different than it's been in the past. We've come together with harvest festivals and chili cook-offs, and we've done all kinds of really fun things to just celebrate our great good fortune. And today what we're doing is we're having a virtual concert. You heard Rebecca J. talk about that. We've got Ray Davis in the house today, and Danielle Tucker's coming, and they're going to play up some music for us right after the service. So stay on board and, do what is that called? A meetup with your friends? What do you do on Facebook? A watch show, a watch party. That's what I'm trying to think of. Do a watch party with your friends and invite them all over to hear some really good music. One of the wonderful things that we're celebrating today is how successful our pledge program was. I got to say it was a little bit unsure going into it what it would look like in this new kind of way of not coming together, and we're used to having our big pledge Sunday where everybody's here and they put their cards in and we pray together, and we didn't have that. Well, we got one, and then we got closed down for the second one that we were going to do. But you know what? We are so blessed. The pledges poured in. You all are just awesome. We offered a couple of different things since we were virtual this year. We offered anybody that pledged $1,200 or more would receive an link, a link to download the book that we're using, our Moment of Choice. We're going to be using it to the next year, the first 6 months of the year. And do you know we have 93 people that pledged at that level? We're sending out 93 ebook links. That's just amazing. Yeah, that's just amazing, I know. And then Dr. Christian offered for first-time pledgers, if you've never filled out a pledge card before and this is your first time, he's going to send you an autographed copy of his Joyous Abundance book. We have 33 people who have pledged that never pledged before. Isn't that amazing? And we also have a virtual card this year online because we know some of you have never been inside the doors at Seaside, that you live far away and you want to know, how can I support Seaside? Well, we have a virtual pledge card on our website. It's super easy to fill out. We have received 23 of those so far. So, I mean, it's just, God is good. We were, our goal always is, I think it's 250 families is what we look, or 250 individuals to pledge, and we have, in this time, 188, right? And so we're not done yet, and our goal, is about, last year we had $435,000 pledged, and this year we're hoping to have that or more. And as of this morning, we have $395,000 pledged. And I know with the cards that came in this week, we're breaking the 400 mark, and I won't be surprised if we break the 435. I am so grateful. We are grateful. Life is good, huh? It's good. We're in the flow here at Seaside. One thing that's really fun that I want to share with you, on Tuesday morning, I came into the office and I turned on my computer, and there was an email saying, download and sign your application to receive your grant money. And I'm like, well, what grant money? We had applied for a San Diego County grant. They had over $4 million that they were giving out to local businesses by district. And when they released the list, we weren't on it. And I was like, we're not getting it. Why are we not getting it? Well, turns out we are getting it. We filled out the application, we signed the application on Tuesday. I got an email this morning that the check is in the mail. We're receiving a $10,000 grant from San Diego County. I mean, how good is that? So you know what, Ed? You can buy those mics you need. All right, good. Oh, it's just so good. It's so fun to play here. It's so fun to play here at Seaside because Dr. Christian's masterful at it. He just, knowing that God is going to show up in some form or another, and it keeps happening, and that is the great good news, that this stuff works, that we live in a world of absolute abundance. It's amazing. Dr. Christian's talk today is Gratitude, a holistic vision. A holistic vision, that's with the H, holistic vision. And I'm reading today from the Science of Mind magazine for November. Jeff Von Silly is the one who wrote them. He's a author and a keynote speaker and an advocate for diversity and inclusivity. And he wrote them this month. And the one I'm reading is The Gift of Gratitude. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. He who sees most clearly and believes most implicitly will make the greatest demonstration. That's Ernest Holmes' Creative Mind and Success. A mind and heart centered on gratitude do not have the space to be filled with anger, fear, or worry. The mind cannot be focused on gratitude and doubt at the same time. A mind that focuses on the innumerable things for which we can be grateful recognizes that everywhere we go, we are surrounded by countless blessings. A heart grounded in thankfulness beats compassion and peace into every cell of the body. With a grateful outlook, you see all the things you have instead of the handful of things you don't. Your mindset shifts, your beliefs shift, your perspective shifts as you embrace the understanding that each breath you breathe is an opportunity to be grateful. And because we are continuously breathing, our hearts beating moment by moment, there is not a second that goes by when gratitude leaves our side. Unless we consciously or unconsciously choose to overlook endless moments of appreciation and focus on lack or limitation. As you go through this day, this divine opportunity, I encourage you to fix your attention and consciousness on gratitude. Let it fill you up, let it propel you forward, and let it bring you a sense of peace and comfort. Know that one of the greatest things you can be grateful for is you. Know this, feel this, accept this, and sit with this. You are a gift. And so it is.
Thank you for that amazing word to get us anchored in. Wow, that was great. All right, well, good morning, Seaside. It is my honor to introduce our guest artists on Sunday mornings. And today we have a wonderful guest. We just love it when he joins us. He is not only an amazing, just super cool human being, and he married a super cool human being, by the way, also, Laurie. They drove down all the way from Los Angeles to be here with us. He is just a great person, incredibly talented. He writes great music. He's a multi-instrumentalist. He's also does acting, and he's just all-around great person, and we're so glad he's part of Seaside's family. Please, virtually, let's welcome Ray Davis.
Good morning, Seaside. All right, so we're going to do a song of transformation this morning. It tells a story of somebody who was mired in mediocrity but had a vision of something much greater. Let's do this little thing called the Average Man. Hey! If you ain't already moving, you might as well right now. Hey! He always thought he was an average man, average face and average hands, average feet set square on the middle tier, yeah. Satisfied with his mild success, as much as any average man could expect, until the day he was beset by his greatest fear. It all started with a feeling so intense that time and space stood still. He said, what if I was born for greatness? What if I am really more than I think I am? What if mediocrity was never in the stars for me, and miracles and wonders was the plan for the average man? Yeah, for the average man. life he said he'd find the nerve to stretch and reach beyond the bell curve, but never did for fear of drawn back into hand. Hey. He said, what's an average man to do with so little time and all these things to think through? Maybe I should just stick to what I understand. Yeah. Oh, but he couldn't shake that feeling, no, no. A feeling so immense it filled the whole blue sky. He said, what if I was born for greatness? What if I am really more than I think I am? What if mediocrity was never in the stars for me, and miracles and wonders was the plan for the average man? Yeah, 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 the average man. Come on, Bob, come on. Oh, you know he couldn't shake that feeling, no, no. Feeling so intense it about to blow his mind. He said, what if I was born for greatness? Yeah. What if I am really more than I think I am? What if mediocrity was never in the stars for me, and miracles and wonders was the plan for the average man? Yeah, yeah, for this average man. Got me saying, na 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 na. Come on, help me sing na 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 na. Can you sing na 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 na
Hey! Woo! The crowds go wild across the airwaves for Ray Davis. Man, how fabulous. Oh, my goodness. What a joy to have you and Lori drive down here this morning. It was so foggy, I understand you missed the off-ramp. And it's like, yeah, I thought. Yeah. But there was a homing device. You found your way home. Yeah, that's it. You made it in time for the first gig. And you had people there at the 9 o'clock service. How fun is that? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's good. Well, welcome for sure. And perfect for today. Today is a celebration day, and you're talking about, giving up that mediocrity, which is what we've been starting our past talks with, is people's been affirming their mediocrity, mantras for mediocrity. And it's like, time to give that up, Yeah, I'm just over it. And so gratitude today is about catapulting us beyond that particular place, because I'll tell you what, with gratitude, it just unlocks the gifts of life. Gratitude takes what you have and it makes it enough and more and then some. Gratitude transforms denial into acceptance, chaos into order, and confusion into clarity. You know what gratitude can do is can take a meal and turn it into a Thanksgiving feast. It takes a house and turns it into a home, a stranger into a friend. What gratitude can do is it can make sense of the past, it can create peace in the present, and it gives you a vision for the future. And gratitude's a good jam, and I'm encouraging it today. And it allows you to see a fuller picture, the holistic picture of the greater good that is available in your life, because gratitude sets up a frequency and a vibration in which the universe responds and says, yeah, keep it going, I'll keep it. My end, it's flowing, keep it going. There's this matching, reciprocal kind of energy that says, I'm grateful because I'm there. I've experienced it. And life says, yeah, well, here's more. Keep it up. I shared this story at the first service, and I'll do it again, and it's about if you had some kids playing out in the neighborhood, and you decided, well, you know what, I'm going to bring them some brownies. And so you bake a pan of brownies and you bring it out to the kids, and they come on over, and some of the kids just take the brownies and wolf it down, and they're back to playing, and that's kind of what you expect. Some other kids take it and they kind of whine, where's the milk? How come there's not more chips? Hey, I want more. And then there's this one who says, hey, I'll help you carry the pans back to your house. And so carries it to your kitchen, and then he washes the pans for you, and then it says, hey, you want me to make those adjustments or set up your iPhone so you can get it working once again for yourself? And it's like, yeah, I like this. And on the way out, he pulls the weeds. It's as if, okay, man, next round of brownies, you get as many as you want. Here you go, kiddo. It's like that's what happens. The appreciation, the gratitude, it's reciprocal. It begins to expand. It keeps pouring forth once you step into that. And so that's what I'm encouraging us to do, is begin to step into being an expression of gratitude in our life. To be that place where God is able to express, and that comes with a matter of seeing, if you would. And gratitude helps you to see as God sees. There was this dad, a good dad, is a good father, and he wanted to assist his children, his son, to appreciate what it is they had. And so he thought it'd be good to take his son out into the country. They lived in a nice house, affluent place. Out into the country to a farm where there was a poor family living, and he did that. He set that up. They spent the day there, and they spent the night on this farm. And on the way back home, he was driving. He asked his son, did you learn anything about this in our life? And he said, yeah. I learned that we have one dog at home, and they've got 4. And that we have a pool that goes halfway up through our garden, and they have a stream that has no end to it. And that we've got to order our lamps for night. They come from out of town or out of the country that we have, and they have fireflies, and they've got the stars lighting it up. And we've got a porch that wraps around to the front of our house, but they've got a horizon that just goes on forever. And his dad is just like speechless. It's like, that was not what I was going for. And then his son said, thank you, Dad, for showing me how poor we are. It's like, Henry David Thoreau said, what you look at is not what matters. It's what you see. You got that? It's not what you look at that matters. It's what you see. When you're coming from gratitude, you're looking through that. It's what is it you see. I like, George Carlin. There you go. Yeah, and it was great. It was enjoyed listening to him when he was around. And he said, I'm in good shape. I'm around shape. It's like, I'm in good shape. I'm in good shape, but the shape is round. It's like, well, that's one way to perceive things. Tony Robbins would tell you that the only reason you lack anything in your life is because of the story you're telling yourself that you don't have it. You got that? The only reason you're lacking anything in your life is because the story you are telling yourself that you don't have it. Change your story, and you do that through gratitude. Gratitude is, it is, when you have gratitude, your disappointments go out with the tide, and the incoming tide brings love, it brings the blessings, it brings the gifts of God. But you let it go with gratitude, because you're no longer telling the story or focusing on the mediocrity or what it is you don't have in your life. You're beginning to recognize, you know what? I'm the place where Spirit touches down. A classic story that you'll find in the first book of the Bible, Genesis, the story of Abraham. And God said, I'm going to give you your favors. I'm going to bless you. I'm going to make your name famous. I'm going to bless you so you can be a blessing. And he went on to experience the favors, the richness, the fullness, the lands, the cattle. He went on to be the father of Christianity, of Judaism, of Islam. You talk about making one famous, and we're still talking his name to this day. He had it going on, and it was not because God blessed him, but you get the key here? He said, I will bless you so you can be a blessing. See, I'm so grateful that I'm blessed, that I'm blessing. I am sharing, I am circulating, I'm giving, I'm a channel, I'm a conduit, I'm an avenue. I am the place where the infinite flows into expression. I am part of the currency. The thing with current is it's got to flow, and it is flowing through you, blessing you. You begin to recognize that gratitude is it's profound. It's a transformational energy. It will switch one's consciousness from seeing lack to experiencing abundance. And when you've got this experience going on, it begins to multiply because that energetic continues to expand itself. So it's up to you to begin to look for the good in your world. Look to those places that are in your life already. I mean, every night, before I go to sleep at night, I'll tell my beloved wife, Callie, how much I love her and how much I appreciate her. And it's just part of naturally what comes out of me. And when I wake up in the morning, she's more beautiful than when she went to sleep. We are in partnership. We're co-creative. You know, we are powerful together. You know, I put out so much of myself, and I come home, and she is there to pick me up, to nourish me, to empower me. It is a magical something that we have that gets more wonderful as time goes on, the love that we have. And it is through acknowledgement that I continue to see even more beauty as that time goes forward. It's in the acknowledgement of what it is we choose to see. Gratitude, I got to tell you, gratitude is a memory of the heart and not of the mind. Feel that one. You know, our memory is of the heart. It's not of the mind. Ernest Holmes, he's the founder of our philosophy. You know, the Centers for Spiritual Living, they base it on this book, The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. We kind of say, our teaching, we call it The Science of Mind. And Ernest Holmes, he writes in this book this wonderful paragraph on Thanksgiving where he says, in everything, give thanks. An attitude of gratitude is the most salutary, and it bespeaks the realization that we are now in heaven. How we love to do for those who cooperate with us and are grateful for our small endeavors like brownies. Gratitude is one of the chief graces of the human existence and is crowned in heaven with a consciousness. Got that? I gotta say that again. I love it. Gratitude is one of the chief graces of the human experience, and it is crowned in heaven with a consciousness. It's one of the graces. It's one of those great things. And so it's up to you to choose to practice the gratitude. Brene Brown, she said that I don't have to go seeking extraordinary experiences to be happy. They're all around. I just have to pay attention and practice gratitude. You know, they're there. We're living in a realm of infinite expression possibilities. But we've got to pay attention. We're the ones who have to see. We're the ones who have to experience that. You know, and so I can remember when I went to Dharamsala over in India, and I was staying I was at the Noorbalinka Institute where the exiled Tibetan government is. I was with a group of about 50 spiritual and political leaders. We were meeting every day for a week with His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, to see what we could do to integrate the different practices to make the world a better place. And the institute there wasn't necessarily used to feeding that many people, so they'd stay up at night, you know, cooking and planning. And the lunches, I got to tell you, were some of the best lunches I ever had. And it's not because it was another, you know, plate of dals and rice, but because it was amazing. I mean, and it's not because of the china, you know, the chipped, you know, the flatware, you know, bent through years of experience, the wood bowls in which, you know, some of it came in. It was how it was presented. It was, you know, we'd line up like in front of the buffet, cafeteria style, and nobody was complaining about having to wait because at the head of the line was the stack of plates, and one of the monks would take a plate and he would pour his blessings onto this plate. And he'd put the food on, go down the row, and at the end, he would just once again add the grace and the blessings and the love and all that God stuff or spiritual stuff, and then hand it to you. my goodness. It was so good. See, you don't have to have a lot. You just have to pay attention that you have something to give and to share. And what happens is it begins to expand, because the picture is that you are a conduit for the currency, for the expression of spirit. It's got all nature. It's got to move through you. Imagine, Ernest Holmes tells us that, it's all been given. The infinite is already given. So imagine that you've got this storehouse. You got the storehouse in consciousness. It's right there. And it's got all your goodies in it. Anything you could ever want. The mortgage payments, a thriving new business, all the money you wanted to invest, all the money you wanted to start a foundation with, all the money that you could give people. It would have your blessings, your conversations would be, hey, when I get my new plane, I'm going to let you fly it. You walk around with a sense of attitude and a sense of well-being and confidence and grace and excitement and joy. You're funny, you're humorous, you're generous. All those kind of things. And you know what? That is the attitude and the expression of those that are masterful manifestors already. That is the attitude you can have before you have pulling forth those goodies from that cosmic storehouse. See, when you choose to live in a sense of grace, sharing and circulating the good that you have, and you have the attitude, it becomes an expression of faith. And that faith is, your future is in your faith. Let me put it that way. Your future is in your faith, and the faith is in that which you can't see, but yet you know it's going to happen. Faith unfolds. Life appreciates the appreciative. You got that? That's a good one. First service didn't get that. Life appreciates the appreciative. Those that live with a sense of appreciation. Here's more brownies. Here's a bigger door to open up in your warehouse of goods as you allow it to move through you. But you've got to have a sense that, I am going to practice this faith. It's going to be my rocket. And I'm going to go with this assurance, with this knowingness that I cannot be knocked off from here to there. I'm going to choose to move out of my rickety for my rockin' way of life, and I'm hopping on my rocket, and I'm taking off, and I'm going to have some strange thoughts trying to knock me off kilter, and if I get those under control, I'll assure you there's going to be people out there throwing weird things your way, trying to knock your rocket off center. But I'll tell you what, you are on a rocket that is fueled by God and your gratitude and your way of seeing that the presence has already given you the kingdom, and what I need to do is open up my hand and allow it to flow through me. This is the way it works. That's simple. It's already been given. And practicing faith, it's like playing chicken with the universe. Okay, I'm sticking to this. I'm sticking to it. I'm going. It may not be looking right, but I got faith. It's chicken with the universe. You're going to find out you're going to be the one who is blessed. So you can be a blessing, so you can begin to unfold the fuller holistic picture of what it is you are here to do and how it is you are to make a difference. Because you are doing what you can to be that blessing. And it's not based upon what you had. Those monks had nothing but their blessings to share. And it is one of the most memorable meals I ever had. So don't give me this thing, well, I would be generous and be a blessing if God had blessed me. Spirit has blessed you. Frank Baum said that, it's kind of a good thing to be alive. He said you've got to admit it's a good thing to be alive. It's a good thing to be alive. You have been blessed. You're breathing. You got some friends. You're watching this right now on something, even if you don't have a little kid fixing your computer or your iPhone. Somehow it's working in this moment. You have got a lot to be grateful for. But I want us not to think that our supply is what it is we got. You get that? Our supply is not, the dollars in the bank account or the portfolio or the cars in the garage or the houses. Those are the effect. Yeah. They're the result. They are the unfoldment of consciousness. See, our supply comes through a consciousness. Our supply is the joy, is the light, is the love, it is the nature, it is the law. Our supply comes from source, which is not the things. The things are the effect of a consciousness, of a generous, grateful expression of life that knows there is so much more available in this storehouse of the infinite that I've only begun to touch the surface. And as I allow myself to be a place in which it expresses, more continues to show up. And that is the result of the source, which is is the supply, which is God. As I started this morning, gratitude is what unlocks the gifts to life. And those that appreciate are appreciated by the infinite. I wanted to make more brownies for the kid that came and showed their appreciation for me. The appreciative are appreciated. Here's an example of it. You know, I've got growing right now at my house an avocado tree that is just this season that it's prolific. I don't know if prolific happens with fruit, it happens with writers, but there's a lot of, there's probably 100 avocados on the tree that I haven't eaten yet. Some of them the size of softballs. It is the most that this tree has ever had. I've been nursing this baby along for a decade now, and it has finally come home. It is happening. I think I got a supply of avocados that are going to last a long time, but the supply is not in the avocados, because when they're gone, those are gone. That supply is gone. That's not the supply. See, the supply in nature is that energy that flows, from the ground, from the soil, from the minerals, from the water, from the sun, from the air that moves through the sap, from the tree, up the trunk, into the branches, out to the leaves and the blossoms, and creates more of them, unending. See, that is the source, that is the supply, and that's what we have got to have faith in. You can't see it, but you see the results of it. That's cause and effect. Gratitude is an activating, energetic that Edgar Tolle says that when you're grateful for the present moment, it opens the spiritual dimensions for us. You got that? If I'm grateful for what is here, this is not my supply. What is here I'm grateful for, but there is a supply that is infinite, that is endless, that is inexhaustible. It is a current. We're dealing with a current. A currency is the exchange. It is the movement. It is the flow. And you are invited to be part of the flow by expressing your gratitude, by expressing your gifts, by that which you have been blessed. You then get to be a blessing. That is the way in which this works. This is how that whole picture fleshes itself out. It fills itself out, and it becomes a greater expression of what is possible in our life. It begins to take form in our world. But people are struggling. I will tell them time and time again. For Christian, I've been really successful. I've had a lot. I've lost it. I went through separation. My business went down. Whatever their story is, first thing, you got to get back out there and give. You got to go out there and assist. You got to get out there and help. Zig Ziglar says you can have everything you want if you help as many as you can get what they want. Got that? You can have as much as you want if you help people get everything that they need, that they want. See, that is how this reciprocal kind of interaction works. But I don't have anything to give, but you do. You've got to pay attention and practice gratitude. This is what this morning is about. Practice gratitude with what you got. There's this beautiful story, part of our culture a few years back, of a pair of twins that were born in a hospital. And one of them was born with a heart condition. And this heart condition, they were sure this little one was not going to make it, was not going to live. And they were in their separate incubators, and one of the nurses wanted to go against protocol and say, you know what, let's put these two little twins back together. And there was no, and she had to talk to the doctors and the administration to buck the protocol, but she eventually got the okay after a couple days, and she put the two babies went back together like they were in the mother's womb. And an amazing thing began to happen. Like right away, the healthy one was able to get his arm around the little sister who wasn't well. And all of a sudden, the heart began to heal. The blood pressure went back to normal. All of a sudden, things began to work. The temperature went back to normal. And within a few days, that child who they were sure was going to be gone lived. And so there's this picture that you may have seen because it was on the magazines and everything. And Steve, you want to put that up there for us? It's called The Rescue Hug. This little one put his arms around his baby sister with the only thing he had to give. And to this day, they're going to school together, healthy, happy, and whole. How do those things happen? I got to tell you, with God, all things are possible. But we're the ones who have got to decide that what I'm looking at is not the whole picture. I need to see a little bit more here. I need to know that there is more to this equation. And when I do, I come to recognize there's somebody who needs your hug. Somebody who needs your love and your support. Because we all run into adversity sometimes, the challenges. And when we're caught up in the challenge, it's hard to see the silver lining. You can't see the silver lining if you're wearing the glasses of the victimhood. Got in a car accident, and I heard this one person got in a car accident and was grateful, and they ended up marrying the EMT. So you don't know. In all things be grateful is what the Bible tells us. In all things be grateful. In adversity, it is the opportunity for the divine blessings, the divine gift to show up. But you've got to know that there's a silver lining here. And gratitude, as Edgar Tolle does, it opens the spiritual dimension to a fuller view of seeing what that fuller picture is. In the midst of adversity is the divine download, is the divine gift. If I know I can be available when I have nothing to give, but I can bless a plate and change somebody's life forever with a memory. As I said, gratitude is kept in the memory of the heart, not the mind. Gratitude is what transforms an ordinary meal into a Thanksgiving feast, what changes a routine job into joy. It's what changes just the commonplace into skipping through life with love and excitement. And so if you've got adversity, know that it is the place where the divine intervention is taking place. I know for Seaside, here it is, March, when we got closed down, you talk about adversity, heartbreak, sadness. It's like, this is not going to be a good thing, but we did not stay there. It doesn't mean you don't get there, but you say, okay, God, where's the pony here? Where's Waldo in this picture? Where's God here? Show me the way out. I am grateful that I'm in partnership with God, and it is a good thing to be alive. And so what is it? And all of a sudden what began to happen for Seaside is that we began to extend our campus beyond the physical place into the live streaming. And Tim Griffin did a great job having the foundation set for our live streaming. But since the spring, our viewing audience has continued to expand. And for Seaside to have 1,000 people on a regular basis watching us every week is far beyond what we had ever had on a Sunday here, except for a couple Easters we did that. But, all of a sudden the adversity had moved us to giving you at home an opportunity to experience what's going on, giving an opportunity to experience Ray Davis. It's like, this is why when we put our program together for the prosperity season, for Adventures in Prosperity, we start with Celebration Sunday. That's the last day, the Sunday before Thanksgiving. And so we start off with the celebration that things are a success. What can we do? Well, we couldn't do how we used to do with chili cook-offs or luau's or festivals. But all of a sudden, Rebecca said, hey, I can call in some of my friends. And I want you to know this concert at 12:30 today, all of our friends that are coming, the band, they're all giving. They have been blessed with the gift of music and love in their heart, and it is their joy and their passion to share it. We have figured out how to do classes online. We have 150 people in our sacred circles right now. All of a sudden, we have been expanding. What has happened? I just heard Debbie share it, that we have had 24 people who we don't even know online begin to fill out virtual pledge cards. So they're a card of intent to support Seaside in 2023. I don't even know some of you, but you're part of the family. You're part of the consciousness. We have learned to deliver the love, the caring, the compassion, the prayers in a way that we would not have done. The adversity, choosing that it was gratitude instead of a bad thing, allows us to say our family has expanded and you're part of it. And there are more people who fill out a virtual card than we've ever had before. And you're at home and you say, you know what? I'm part of this community. I want this still delivered. And it goes into creating the cameras and the platforms and the technology and everything to deliver it in a new kind of way. We heard that there's 33 new individuals who are receiving my book because they have signed up for the first time. 33 people. That's really good. It's grown by more than 10% in those who were there last year. 15% actually. And 93 people have signed up to receive the free ebook with their pledge. It's like these things could not be happening or would not have happened or may not have happened. What I do know is they are now happening. There's the right verbiage. They are now happening because of what first looked like adversity. We can't get together in person at this time, but you know what? Seaside is growing. It is expanding. It is prospering because you know what? Those of you viewing this from home are being blessed. And Spirit says, I'm going to bless you so you can be a blessing, and you have blessed this community so we can continue to give back and be a blessing to more and more people all the time. Do you see how that reciprocal action works? And it's amazing. And as we are part of this consciousness together in this vibration, this frequency, it keeps lifting all of us. The water lifts all ships in the harbor. And gratitude for the good that is continues to escalate, expand, and lift all of us. And as a community, it is working, it is happening. And I just thank you from the fullness of an expanding heart that is filled with gratitude for you being there, and the gifts that you bring, they matter. So, in moments of happiness, praise God. In those difficult moments, seek God. In the silent moments, listen to God. And in all moments, thank God. I thank you for being part of my spiritual community and my family. And this Thanksgiving will be right on the top of my gratitude list. God bless you. Thank you. And I love you. And here's my ethereal hug. Ray, you got a song for us? All right.
Boy, that's a beautiful message. This is a song of adoration, praise, in gratitude to the one life, the one power, the one mind, the one consciousness. The song is called My One. From the fading light of the evening to the growing glow of the day, I am perfectly, perfectly held in your hands, my one. And as the sun ascends to its glory, and in beauty gives its rays, I stay surrounded. For in you I live, move, have my being. Do I love you, my one I do. There is none to love but you. There is nothing that can undo my love for you, my one. If I feel afraid for my future, or believe that no one really cares, still I'm perfectly, perfectly held in your hands, my one. there's nowhere where your love can't find me. Do I love you, my one I do? There is none to love but you. There is nothing that can undo my love for you, my one, my one. Baruch atah Adonai, my one. Blessed are you, O living one, my one. There is nothing else you love from below to above, my one. Hear all of creation sing to you, my love, my Do I love you, my one I do? There is none to love but you. There is nothing that can undo my love for you, my one. My one, my one, my one.
Wow. Ray, that was really beautiful. That's, talk about heart. That's you. That's you. Thank you. Whew. Yeah, Lori, his wife, wiped the tears from her eyes, knows that deeper meaning for sure. Well, this is the time of the service. If we were together, we tend to take an offering, and but we can't even do that anymore. So, first service, we just leave a basket out and let people put that in there. But here at this service, what we do is we give you the opportunity to press that button on your screen that says Venmo or Donate Now, and there's those, of course, who are part of the auto tithe. When they set up for the pledge program or their card intent, they say, you know what, just regularly, once a week, once a month, whatever it is, just debit my account. And that has helped us tremendously, with that. We have got about 170 individuals who are part of that particular program. So thank you, from the fullness of my heart. And if you haven't filled out your card of intent yet, do so. Go right online right now. I think Reverend Debbie said we were at like 188 individuals who have done that. We're within striking distance of surpassing where we were last year. Do you understand how phenomenal that is? What a statement in consciousness to say where other places have contracted and gone out with the tide, that Seaside has grown and expanded. I'm holding that. I know, and not because it's a number we just got to hit. It's just a statement in consciousness that this year, in 2021, is going to surpass 2020. And I assure you, there are many people who are so done with 2020. Let's leave that behind, and we're stepping up to higher ground with the level of support that is committed to this to this spiritual family, as well as individuals. So please, if you haven't yet, and I know there's a lot of you at home who are part of this community who watch, because we get to see you coming in from Europe and across the country, over in Hawaii. Take this moment, say, count me in as part of this family. I'm here to support whatever level that is. And, some can do more than others, but I got to assure you, a lot of little ones create great opportunities for this community to reach out and make a difference in a greater way, because the healing is continued here. Prayer requests come in every day. Prayers go on between our 50 spiritual practitioners every day. The classes continue. We're meeting at 9 o'clock, and as soon as the county tells us we can open inside again, we will. The heartbeat has continued. The light has continued to shine. The music has continued to play. The heartbeat goes on, and that's because you guys are at home supporting this, because you are part of this consciousness and this community. We're here. Drop us the letters. Give me a call. We're in this together, and we're doing well through this time. So I'm going to do a prayer, and then we can share our offering abundant affirmation. And then a little music from the band. We got Ray in there. You guys can play a little bit longer today. You know, it's like, I'm feeling good. I love your music. So, but right now I can feel that presence and that power of God. And I'm changing it up right here because I got it mixed up here. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the collection basket while you guys are filling out your cards of intent or clicking it. And then I'll pray. And then the band will play while I'm putting that in there. I guess I'm trying to remember. and then I'll pray, and Rebecca will sing us out. And then between when she sings us out, you're texting everybody you know to watch this free virtual concert. Rebecca and friends, Ray Davis and Daniel Tucker, and setting up the watch parties. And we're going to start at 12:30. So I'm going to put this in here. Thank you guys for mailing these in, and go for it, guys. And thank you, auto tithers and checks and cards and pledges and just. Let's say together this affirmation of abundance. Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgate of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. Ray Davis joined the Seaside band with Max there on the Paul Lloyd Warner Busendorfer, and that's Paul on the drums, Harley on the bass, and of course Bob Mathis leading this pack for nearly 30 years. We love you, appreciate you. And giving us sound day is Ed, and behind the cameras, Edwin and Tim in the sound booth or in the editing room. We got Steve Grant and Tom that are in there, and I don't know who else might be in there, but I just am filled with a lot of gratitude, and Rebecca leading the artistic expression of this morning. I just move into prayer with a sense of celebration, a sense of gratitude, with a sense of love, knowing that this truly is a blessed moment where the fullness and the grace of God has its way. I stand just deeply rooted in that infinite soil and allow that nature of God, the true supply of my being, to pour forth through me as I articulate and express the revelation of that which is unspeakable, that which is ineffable, which is in the infinite, seeking to express itself in the very life in which we are moving in at this moment. And so that wisdom that guides the universe is the intelligence that is activated within inside of our being, filling our field of awareness, and we begin to see as God sees beyond just looking. There's a deep knowing, a deep feeling, a deep sense of wellness and wholeness, a sense that is integrated into the self-expression, and any sense of separation from the infinite begins to dissolve into the nothingness from which it came, and what remains is that perfect alignment of a realigned, refreshed, reactivated, animated expression of God life moving in this world, being source for everything, for I become that vortex, of that vehicle, that wellspring that leads out to the world, bringing forth the blessings, knowing that each and every one of us here today involved in this consciousness is blessed, receiving the blessing so we can be a blessing. Knowing when we appreciate, there is an activation of that which is far greater than what we know, that flows on the currents of life. There's a life of love and abundance, of joy and ease, of grace, of self-expression. There's a sense of confidence, of walking with a swagger and a sense of well-being. There's a joy in the thanksgiving of the Spirit, the deepening memories of the heart, as the tide pulls out the disappointments and the gratitude brings in the love that transcends ordinary moments into magical moments. Every moment is time I say, thank you, God. And with that, it flows in to each of our lives. There's more health, more well-being, more abundance, more financial flow, more creative expression, an expanded way of seeing the holistic picture of God is, I am. And in the great I amness of our expression, there comes confidence in the sharing and the giving of the heart and the soul and the spirit. And it's in this motion of spirit that it purges out anything unlike itself. The fear, the anxiety, the concern, they just dissipate. They're gone. They dissolve. They're neutralized. They're no longer just part of the consciousness as we rocket forward to our higher destination, finding the source, sourcing our very expression. I know every prayer request that has been brought forth to this community is now fulfilled. I know every individual who filled out a card that said, it's my intent to be part of Seaside, to support this community in this coming year. I offer what I can. Could be just love, caring, consciousness, like the monks who just blessed those plates. But I know right now there is greater good coming to that open vehicle, bringing greater blessings so we can be a greater blessing, so we can continue to express that life. And it is in this rejuvenating, revitalizing, refreshing expression that we continue to walk this world with a joy, with an ease, with a sense of peace, with a sense of security. For all those gifts that we have given here this morning, this day, this year, are cumulative in the activation, the divine download that brings that which is relevant, transforms and heals in the ways that are particular for each of us. There is that personalization of the God hug. We return back to the sense of well-being and health. And we enter into this world as a vibrant expression called for a time such as this, expanding through our words and our affirmations and our mantras of gratitude, the fuller holistic picture. As the world is constricted into seeing its limited perspective, the story expands, the horizon expands, the possibilities expand, the divine download materializes, and there is health, joy, laughter, song, celebration, dance, music, prayer, feasting. Gratitude is the state in which we have chosen to live this day, and this is what we add to the consciousness of this community, of Seaside, that is blessed and is a blessing and brings this consciousness to the community, to our nation, adding to the collective consciousness the greater blessing, a sense of well-being, of unifying and peace and love and togetherness. And we add this to the global consciousness that we are brothers and sisters around this planet, in this together, honoring and supporting one another on our path, loving the diverse expression of life. For God is infinite. So not getting comfortable treading water, but rather excited to be experiencing that which is new and greater. And so I say thank you. Thank you for the realization. Thank you for the manifesting good, for the abundance that flows, the blessings to share, the life to live, the love to express. I let go to this. I surrender. Allow that to be. That is what is. So it is. Amen.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Your Son, holy for God. So no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Your Son, holy for God. So I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. And your Son, holy for God. Say no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Your Son, holy. Wherever you are, sing it with us. Say I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Your Son, holy for God. So no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. Yeah. I am free in the Spirit. Your Son, holy for God. Yeah, Seaside.
All right. You guys are great. Hey, I want to remind you right now, as soon as we're done with our affirmation, text your friends, Facebook your friends, let them know this virtual concert free here in 15 minutes. Watch parties, rock out. It is going to be great. So grab something to drink, something to eat, let your friends know. But first, our affirmation is, I am grateful for all that God is mine to live and share. Together, I am grateful all that God is mine to live and to share. touch your heart and let's say it again. I am grateful all that God is mine to live and to share. Again, I am grateful all that God is mine to live and to share. One more time since it's kind of complicated. Okay, we got it? We ready? I am grateful all that God is mine to live and to share. See you in 15 minutes right back here. I love you. Hugs.